What's up, YouTube? Guerrero here with Black Magic and Light Bright. So, our last video we talked about what we thought about who had the best free agent signings and whatnot. But that's not all that's been happening this offseason. This offseason, we've had a bunch of trades, some unexpected, some impactful to some teams, some that were like, what was that team thinking? All the way from Flacco to Keenum to D Ford to Brown and Beckham to the offensive linemen, everything. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about three of them. We got three opinions, and we want to know. We're going to tell you which one we thought was the most impactful for a team, which one was the most surprising that happened this offseason so far, and then we're going to talk about what was that team thinking, the worst trade that they made. So, to kick us off, we're going to mix it up a little bit. It's either me or Light Bright that usually start, but we're going to kick it off, and we're going to have Black Magic start us off with this. Black Magic, tell me your most impactful trade so far this offseason.
My most impactful trade for this offseason YouTube is Odell Beckham with Cleveland Browns. Because, it's surprising. I know. But the reason I chose Odell, and I think Odell is the most impactful, is because he just needed to get away from the drama from New York, going on with Eli, the quarterback situation, like you guys pointed out before. And I think he just needs a fresh start. And on top of that, like, he has Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield. And both of those players are very young still. Cleveland is a very promising team with that offense. Even though Kareem Hunt's not going to play the first probably four games because of a suspension, I think if as soon as they develop their chemistry, they're going to be a very, very dangerous. And on top of that, Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham are best friends in real life, so they already have that.
They've been playing ball since high school.
Yeah, they already.
They were high school rivals, actually.
Bro. Whatever the case.
Right.
They're best friends in real life. Like, they practice, they train, they do pretty much like things together. And Jarvis Landry is basically like the dark version of Odell Beckham.
Fair enough. I definitely could see that, man. That team, they got weapons all over on both sides of the ball. So that definitely impacts that organization in a very good way. Light Bright, tell me the worst trade this season. This offseason, in your opinion, sorry.
Oh, man, the worst trade, there was really two of them, but I'm gonna run through both of them real quick, alright? So the first one is the San Francisco 49ers, man, with D Ford. The only reason I say that is because they way overpaid this man. They paid him 5 years for $85 million. Let's be honest, people. He only had one good season since he's been in the league. One good season.
At the same time, this whole offseason, who have they been playing? Defensive linemen. Who did they just ship away to the Lions? What's his name? Wasn't it Trey Flowers?
They didn't get shipped. He signed with him.
Oh, my goodness.
He was a free agent and he signed. But, I'm just saying, D Ford, he's not terrible, but, man, they could have got him. I feel like they could have got him cheaper. I feel like they way overpaid him. I don't think he's going to live up to that type of contract, but I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. Now, my second worst trade real quick is the freaking Washington Redskins. What are you thinking? Trading for Casey Keenum? Casey Keenum? Seriously? Out of everybody, that is who you go after. I feel like they could have just saved money and just got a freaking young quarterback in this draft. There's plenty of young quarterbacks that they could groom. And let's be honest, Washington is not a now ready to contend team. They're just not. Like, they're getting there. I mean, they signed Landon Collins. That's a good help on the defense, but, like, they're not contending. And Casey Keenum isn't going to help you contend.
I see that. I see that. Now, back to your first one. Speaking as, a Chiefs fan, I would have to agree with you about that D4 trade, man, because, the Chiefs franchise tagged him because, like you said, he had one great year with us after being with us for over 4 years and playing a bunch of games because Houston and Holly were injured and in and out all the time. And the franchise tag was a 1 year prove it kind of deal. But then, you got San Francisco coming in trying to pay him a bunch of money. So I agree with that. I would have to agree with that. The Case Keenum thing, definitely. I mean, how you going to go from Alex Smith to Case Keenum? That's unless you're just getting him as a backup, but Alex Smith might not be coming back, they're saying. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I just don't feel it, man.
You guys want to know what my worst trade is?
Let's go, Black Magic. Give me your worst trade.
Oh my goodness, you guys, like me, my worst trade, like, is coming from my own team.
Oh, you're speaking my worst trade.
You said what?
You're speaking my worst trade as well.
Like, how do you trade the best wide receiver in the league for a third and fifth round pick?
Honestly, I would have to say that's the best trade on Oakland's side because they basically took advantage of a desperate Steelers organization.
It's just like, why? Like,
bruh, I tried to make that deal on Madden, and Madden told me I was dumb.
No.
they X'd me out of the game.
Yesterday, bro, I tried to do the same thing, and man said the same thing.
I can see that though. I understand why that'd be your worst trade. But so
like, serious?
yeah, no, that wasn't smart at all. But so okay, so we did your worst, we did your most impactful. Lightbright, I want to know your most impactful trade. What had the most impact for an organization with the trade?
I hate to say it, but the Cleveland Browns, man, OBJ, they didn't really for what they gave up. They're really getting it right back in return, like tenfold. Honestly, I mean, they gave up a first round pick that was the 17th overall pick, and they gave up Jabril Peppers, who, I mean, he's an upcoming, has great potential safety, but I mean, for what they gave up to get OBJ, I feel like that was a fair trade. Like, they didn't really lose much, and they're gaining a lot more because it's going to help Baker Mayfield out. Because, I mean, honestly, when you look at the Cleveland Browns on paper right now, they probably arguably look like the best offense going into the 2019 season. I mean, if you look on paper, like Jarvis Landry, OBJ, Baker Mayfield, David Njoku, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Duke Johnson, like, that looks like a scary offense, but it's all just about whether they can actually come together and create that chemistry. But the most impactful would have to be the Browns getting OBJ.
Okay, I can see that. All right, guys, so my most impactful trade, I think that helped an organization out, would be the Antonio Brown trade. I think because let's face it, the three of us thought John Gruden was out of his mind when he got rid of Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. Everybody probably thought that. And then this man comes in and gets Antonio Brown. Talk about a step up from Amari Cooper. I mean, you went from a great receiver to you just went to an elite receiver after that. You just stepped it up. And then what he's doing, and what he had to give up This guy went into this trade with 3 first-round picks and came out of the trade with 3 first-round picks. Who does that for an elite receiver? I mean, anybody. I mean, you just mentioned it. Odell Beckham, the Browns had to give up their first-round pick for him. And Jabril Peppers. The Raiders gave up 2 picks, the 3rd and 5th. Nobody really cares about those kind of picks. They got 3 first-round picks. They can go and do something crazy in the draft. These guys can still trade up if they want to, or trade for another elite player. They got the best trading power, I think, going into the draft and offseason. If there's somebody they want, they can easily trade for. They got, I mean, who wouldn't take an extra first-round pick?
Right.
That would be my most impactful to an organization, is what John Gruden did by obtaining Antonio Brown. You know, he traded away, I can't say that guard's last name to save my life, but he traded away a lineman and then went and got Orlando Brown, or Trent Brown. So, I mean, he's replacing players as he's going, which I think is really good. That would be my most impactful trade. Now,
but he's replacing them with like mediocre players. So like, I mean, it's cool,
but Trent Brown's not a mediocre player. He's an elite offensive lineman.
I'm not talking about Trent Brown in general. I'm talking about like just like as soon as he gets rid of an impactful player on the team, they'll replace him with somebody that's like like mediocre.
Yeah, he did during the season, but I mean, were the Steelers really going to trade Antonio Brown mid-season though?
No.
Exactly. But now he's going into this next season with basically a team he wants for himself. You know, like he's making the team, he's building the team how he wants his team. And that's why I have to say that's the most impactful. Now, for my worst trade, I think, now don't get me wrong, I think he's a decent quarterback, but you got the 10th pick in the draft and you trade for Joe Flacco. Why not just go and get a young quarterback? Why would you go to an old quarterback? I mean, who's he got to throw to? You guys got rid of Demaryius Thomas. I mean, the Broncos go out and get an older quarterback who has not been the same since the Super Bowl that they won. I mean, he lost his starting position. He got injured. Lamar Jackson came in. He was cleared to play. Lamar Jackson still played. I mean, that just goes to show Joe Flacco's era is done, and you're bringing him. Like, what is Vance Joseph thinking? Like, yeah, let's take Joe Flacco. I don't care that he's 30-some years old.
So I just want to throw out there real quick. I mean, it's another topic for another day, but what's that wide receiver that you like a lot there, Guerrero? Maybe the Broncos snag him with the 10th pick, help Flacco out?
DK? Nope. Don't see it. But I'm just saying, though, why go after an older quarterback? I mean, you know, why not? There's decent QBs going into this draft. And you got the number 10 pick. There's maybe 2 teams in front of you that are going to pick up a quarterback. That's the Cardinals and then the Giants. That's it. There's at least 2 more quarterbacks out there. Maybe not the greatest, but I mean, you might as well start fresh. You know, I can't say you're in rebuilding season. You've been in rebuilding season since you lost Manning. But I would have to say that was by far the worst move. I mean, why go after Joe Flacco? I mean, why go after an older quarterback when you got rid of your number 1 receiver? Yeah, you got Emmanuel Sanders, you got Sutton out there, but that's it. I mean, Phillip Lindsay's a great running back, but
Emmanuel Sanders was hurt a lot last year, too.
Exactly.
He's injury prone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why go after an older quarterback? I don't like that trade. I don't. Okay. So, we gave our impactful worst trades. All right, guys. Just real quick. No explanation. Let's get our pick out there real quick, and then we can explain real fast. Black Magic, most surprising trade.
Most surprising trade to me was the Honey Badger Tyrann Matthew going to Kansas City.
That wasn't a
That
trade.
wasn't a trade. That was free agency.
That was free agency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he signed with him.
He's a free agent.
Golden Tate then.
Another free agent.
Another free agent.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, the most shit. Well,
Catch these facts, baby.
yeah. The most shocking trade was.
We'll come back to you, Black Magic. We'll come back to you. Think about it. Light Bright, shocking trade, man. What shocked you? What did you not see coming?
Antonio Brown to the Oakland Raiders.
Really? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mine, Odell Beckham to the Browns. I did not see that. That shocked me. I knew he wanted out of New York, but I did not expect Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while Black Magic's thinking there, Light Bright, why is that shocking to you? Why was that shocking of a trade to you?
Because the Raiders robbed the hell out of the Steelers. They sent them a third and fifth round for arguably a top 3 wide receiver. They robbed them blind.
So was the trade? So what they traded for him, was that the shocking part, or was
That was the shocking part for me.
so it wasn't the
shocking
fact
part-
that Antonio Brown went to Oakland? It was what Oakland gave up for Antonio
Gave
Brown.
up to get him. Like you said, like they had 3 first-round picks, and they only gave up a third and a fifth round. Like that is like arguably out of anything that's gone on this whole like offseason as far as signings and other trades, like the Raiders hands down got the best deal out of anybody. Best deal.
Fair enough. Black Magic, you got one?
You said what?
You got one? You got a shocking trade? If not, it's cool, bro. It's cool.
Go ahead.
All right.
I mean, hey, look, man, if you want to say that it's shocking that your team took a third and a fifth round for your receiver, it's okay.
It is a little shocking. I would have to say my shocking trade was
Stupid.
I did say OBJ going to the Browns. That did shock me. I didn't expect OBJ to go to Cleveland. I thought he might go to. I mean, we did a video about OBJ possibly going to New England.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but he went to Cleveland. I think Cleveland did great. It seems like both the Giants got a fair trade out of it. I mean, Cleveland's in the AFC, so it's not like the Giants got to worry about playing them in the playoffs or anything.
Right.
So that would be my shocking trade, guys. But what so far, today's date is March 14th. What is your most shocking trade? What was the most impactful trade for you, YouTube? What was the worst trade for you? Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? Or do you know of a trade that we didn't mention? You let us know. The next time you see us might be a couple days from now, but we'll be coming with you with our brackets for March Madness. Hopefully Don Mega will be with us. Except we might have to change his nickname now. But we're out of here, YouTube. You let us know. We're going to keep up with you guys. There's free agency just started. There's probably going to be more impactful trades that are going to happen. And we'll come to you guys with this news and let you know. But we're out. Have a good night. See y'all.